Hey everybody, Cone Dodger here. We're headed to Vegas in the Xfinity series for race number 3, I'm pretty sure, of the NASCAR Heat Career Season number 2. Wow, that was a lot to spit out. It really wasn't, but it was. It was. How did we do in Atlanta? I think we did very well in Atlanta. I'm trying to remember. It's been a little while. I have had to kind of move around my whole recording schedule, so now this is now recorded like a week and a half after I last recorded. But I seem to recall doing pretty well in Atlanta. Las Vegas should be pretty similar. It doesn't look like this is my kind of setup. I can't remember which races I did last season in the hot seat races and which ones I didn't. Not that I think those really matter, to be honest. Uh, in fact, when it comes to the hot seat races, I may skip those this season, or at least skip recording them for the Cup Series. I'm more interested in actually running the series we are going to run in. Mainly, it's because I think the hot seat ones didn't put quite enough weight into them, and it just doesn't feel very special, especially since they didn't give you any custom messages or anything like that for running in those events. So, yeah, just kind of took away from the interest there. But I need to get out on here on track. Boy, I just channeled up my inner NASCAR right there. I know we did Las Vegas in the trucks, and I know I talked about the fact that this used to be a very unique mile-and-a-half track on the calendar because it was a very flat and frankly very difficult to drive track. Well, these days they've increased the banking to try and increase the appeal and the racing. And I mean, sure, it probably has done that. You can do more side-by-side racing here, as I'll try to demonstrate here by running into the wall in turn 1. There, I demonstrated. Look how interesting that was. But no, yeah, I mean, it made a track that was traditionally one groove into possibly 2 grooves, and as it ages, of course, there will develop more of a high line, most likely. It's always interesting when they take tracks and then modify the banking, like after the layout's already been done, because in order to increase the banking, you pretty much either have to narrow the track from the bottom or completely tear down the wall on the outside and start from scratch. And almost always what they end up doing is just scooting it in from the bottom. So where that white line is now, I believe, doesn't represent where the inside of the track was before. It has scooted in, and that's how you get to the more banking. I think. I'm pretty sure about that. Pretty sure about that. I don't remember exactly which way they did it here. Interestingly, I think this track is requiring a little bit more lift, a little bit more input for me into the turns, especially turn 1, which is interesting. I thought turn 1 would be the easier side of the track, but it seems like that's the one that it gets the tightest. I guess it is a decreasing radius turn versus when you go into 3, from the time you enter turn 3 until you exit turn 4, the turn is constantly decreasing in radius because of the trioval. That makes vague sense. Setup seems okay. It seems like I can put it pretty much anywhere I need to. So, apparently he was bidding. So, let's go do some qualifying. To the bits. And continue. And hit Y. Y. Garage. I'm going to throw some tape on there. That'll be important here. And good to go. Go. Nice big burnout. I want to get to the high side of the track. This feels like one of those places that's small enough that I won't get up to full speed by the time I start my lap. Seems like 180. It might be close. Yeah, we should be okay then. I'm still accelerating, and we use the high line through 3 and 4 here. Yeah, that should be pretty good. I do feel like it takes more than 1 lap for your tires to come up to temperature. Or something like that. I'm not entirely sure why it is that I feel that way, if they actually modeled that or not, but it just tends to be the case that lap 1 never feels as good as lap 2 or 3. Or even by here, turn 3 and 4, it was starting to feel better. Let's dive all the way down to the grass. And every little second we can. Top 10, not bad. Not too bad. I think that's better than I did in Atlanta. I'm trying to remember. Garage and set up 35. That's good. I still have a lot of wedge I could take out if it's too tight in the race. But I think it's going to be just fine. Distance-wise, I think this race should be pretty similar. It's like it's in the evening, not a night race, but the evening. 10-lap stage 1. That's a good distance for our purposes here. Seems like the inside lane is really what moved on the start there. I had to... Oh man, I'm still lifting. Yeah, it seems like the outside lane's really getting backed up here. Which is unfortunate, because I thought the outside lane is where I was going to be able to make some moves. Oh boy, they handle the... I almost spoke too soon. Oh buddy. Way out in the marbles. I was going to say they handle the tri-oval a lot better than they handle the quad ovals, but they don't. They really don't. Alright, well now our tires should be to where they're happy. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, they are feeling better. You know, I've pulled some punches about this game, and it's maybe inaccuracies and shortcomings. But one nice thing is, despite the fact that it's been, you know, a week and a half or so since I recorded, I can bring this game up, load it up, and just drive, and pretty quickly get a good feel for it and feel like, you know, I know what I'm doing. So if nothing else, they've at least made it pretty consistent, and for basically an arcade racer, it does have a nice degree of hitting the wall there. That was my fault. Nothing to do with the game. But yeah, it has a nice degree of consistency in the way that things behave, and I guess it's... how do I word this? It's basically like that the things that happen when you turn the wheel or hit the gas or whatever, they just seem very fluid, even if they don't seem very realistic. It comes very naturally, I suppose. Which is not what I expected. When I approach arcade racers, like when I approached Forza Horizon, every time I played that game, I had to turn my brain off because my natural instincts would kick in and I would try to drive the cars like cars should be driven. And that game would just fight you to the end if you tried to do that. It just wouldn't let you just drive the car. Versus here, at least, despite the fact I cannot get into turn 1, at least I feel like I'm in control. Did we start 10th? I think we did. And we've moved up, we've moved down, and we're back to 10th. And it's so good in 3 and 4. I just gotta figure out what I'm doing wrong in 1 and 2. So good in 3 and 4. Alright, let's start lifting right about here. Okay, that's better. That's better. I think I was just driving it too deep into the turn before I lifted. But that felt real good. Ooh, that was dicey. The high line in 3 and 4 is working out very nicely for me. Because I get a heck of a run down the front stretch, but then I kind of lose out in 1 and 2. I guess if I wanted to be better at one end of the track or the other, I'd want it to be the one closest to the start-finish line at the end of the day. I'm surprised they didn't actually make this track variable banked like Homestead. Maybe it is, I don't know. I don't know, it just feels like it's Vegas. They would pull all the punches they can. Like, they would do everything they could to make it the most special of the tracks, the most crazy and stuff. Why isn't there a loop-de-loop in the backstretch? We need a loop-de-loop. Yeah, I think the car feels better later in the run. Maybe I'm just learning, but especially now that the field's kind of strung out and everybody's trying to stick right to that bottom lane. I got somewhere I can go. A nudge. Try and push him into the turn faster than he wanted to. He's still there, yep. Very much so still there. Oh, okay, that was the end of the stage, so we got third. There's some nice points. That's good. Points are good. I like points. You like points? Because I like points. 22 laps of fuel, 40 laps of race. Nobody's pitting here. Oh, how I would love to juke everybody and pit on this one, but I won't. I won't. First gear. And off we go. I don't have any real NASCAR stuff to talk about because the main series, the Cup Series, was off last weekend. The trucks and the... Was it trucks and Xfinity? Or was it just trucks? I know at least the trucks were there. They were at Iowa. I think it was both. I think it was trucks and Xfinity. That's that's always an interesting place, but I didn't get to watch either of those races, unfortunately. I saw snippets of the races were good, but I had a lot go on last weekend. Okay, let's have 10 laps in this stage as well. A lot of people have stated that the Cup Series should go to Iowa, and I do agree. You know, more short tracks, the better. Unfortunately, it seems like the turnout at Iowa isn't being very good, and overall, maybe the town is not as appreciative of that race being there or the track being there. But maybe that's just a product of not having the Cup Series there. I don't know. I guess if there was a track near me, like within an hour, and they only did Xfinity and trucks, would I ever really feel like going to it? Probably not. Considering I live only an hour and a half away from Daytona, and I have no desire to go to the races there for NASCAR. Maybe not no desire. Yeah, I think no desire was a little strong. It would have to be with a group of people. The worst part about going to NASCAR races is the fact that although the stands are not going to be this packed because, well, that's just not the way it is anymore, there's a lot of people there. And I don't like lots of people. Ooh, buddy. I got real tight into turn 1. Mostly, I don't like a lot of drunk rednecks. I hate to enforce that NASCAR stereotype, but let's be honest, It's a track in Florida. Any kind of sporting event at all in Florida is gonna attract nothing but drunk rednecks. And I can prove that because the Sebring race was full of drunk rednecks. And that couldn't have anything less to do with NASCAR than it does. I think this is going to be a good race. I feel like the four of us up here are all pretty competitive with each other. Hopefully I don't lose any or many spots on pit road. Any or many. Pinched me up to the wall there. Turn one still my no bueno zone. It's fun watching the computer cars actually racing each other here for the lead. Usually it's just one car that checks out. Seeing Camaro on the back of his car just reminded me, if you want a good laugh, go ahead and look up William Byron NASCAR West Series car, because they're at Sonoma, or Sears Point, whatever they decide to call it these days, this week. So some of the rookies are going to run the West Series race, which is kind of like a West Coast-based feeder series of NASCAR, and they run the old school cup bodies, like very old school cup bodies, as in 2004 era. But the team decided to stick a 2018 Camaro sticker package on one of those old cars, and boy howdy, that's the biggest abomination I've ever seen. Like, one of the other teams used the SS decal package instead, and it looks way better. I can't believe they started stickering this thing up as a Camaro, and they're like, yep, let's just stick with this. This looks fine. I really want to win this stage. These two are going too wide into 3 and 4. I don't know who's in the lead right now. Oh, it's going to be very close. Oh, we got him. Wow, that must have been like inches. Wow. I hope it ends that way too. Okay, everybody's going to pit here. Looks like we're going to take a lot of fuel this time around. All right. Don't have any repairs. I would like to take a little bit more wedge out though. And we'll accept that. Hopefully 2 cans isn't too much. Okay, 2 cans was too much. That's fine. We have plenty of laps left and a very good car. I don't have any worries about making my way back through the field. It would be super nice if it would actually tell me roundabout how much fuel we need. Even in NASCAR 2003, it would tell you, an estimated amount of fuel you need or how many cans. I'm trying to be patient here. I know once the field strings out a little bit more, we'll be in really good shape. I'm wondering if some cars took 2 tires and that's why we got sent back so far. I'm seeing some cars that were up there in the top 5 are also back here with me. So very, very boxed in. Oh, Kunster, isn't that our teammate that hates us? We should go up and boop him. Take that. I like that he's still wiggling, like it still got him freaked out. Turn one still no good. He's got a heck of a run. I think he just gave me a little boot back. Oh, that was good though. That's what we needed to do. Big lift for turn one. I still don't quite have a grasp on that. At least not for the bottom lane. I feel like I have it for the top lane, but not the bottom. Yeah, this field definitely looks a little mixed up. I think we had some pit lane shenanigans going on there. I'm gonna wear in this lane. That's gonna be the preferred groove by the end of this. It's the Kyle Larson approach that I see, where he doesn't do it as much anymore. I think he's gotten a lot more focused on like finishing races and trying to win a championship. But I noticed back last season, if he wasn't happy, if he wasn't in a car that was good, he would find a different lane to everybody else, and he'd just keep running it, and keep running it, and keep running it. And I swear it was like he was rubbering in his own line of the track. And then eventually everybody would jump into that line. I think he was quoted as saying this week that he plans to run an entire World of Outlaws series before he... Whoa, buddy! Oh, that's a huge hit. Probably just took some aero damage on that one. I knew turn one was going to get me. Let's look. Hey, guys. How are you? I hit the front splitter. Well, I think it was more the right side, but that's cool. 3%? Well, that's nothing. It's fine. I just gotta chase him down now. And I really gotta figure out turn one. I had it, and then I lost it. How do you lose a turn? There's only 4 of them. 2 of them, according to some people. Maybe 5 according to others because of the triangle. Ooh, it's gotten tight on me though. That 2% might mean a lot. 3%. Although apparently that was a very good lap. So perhaps I don't know what I'm talking about. That's actually pretty fitting. I went out there and smacked the wall running a weird line and made the car faster. Maybe I am Kyle Larson. I am a little bit... This is mean. I am a little short. He's just a little short, alright? Just a little short. Alright, you 3. I want to get up to those front 2. I ain't got time to mess around with you. Although it doesn't look like I'm gonna have a choice. She almost did it again. Laps we have? Let me scroll through these. Not that. Oh wow, I wore those tires down significantly, that's for sure. 87 of 52. I thought there was a... Oh, it's there. I see it. Yeah, that's the one I want. Okay. I guess that's something that's a little different because these races are longer. in that last stage, we might actually run down the tires pretty far compared to in the truck series. I don't think we ever really had to deal with worn tires. 39 of 52, 14 to go. That's plenty of time, but those two are certainly much faster than the group we just got through. Trying to run a little easy here as I'm catching them. Let's save my stuff a little bit. It feels like they are a little bit slower, probably because they're racing each other. Yeah, that does nothing but help me. They really exaggerate how much they spread apart on the straightaways, and it screws them up by the time they get to the turn. Oh, there's a little bit of track. There's a little bit of banking, actually, under the white line. That's interesting. I just cannot get it turned in there. See, he could be running all the way up to his door there. And would really take away the line of Allgaier. He'd have a much easier time making this pass. Seems like Jones is the faster car of the two. That was a very good run for me. I found a mark on the wall. I think it's like an advertising or something that I'm using to back out. Although it actually, because I did that, it turned in so much better that I clipped the apron. And 4 are still the turns that I seem to be able to make some time, especially on that high groove. And to go. Shoot dang. Tap the brakes a bit there. Well, this is the closest we've been. They did kind of separate now, so they can go a bit faster. Nine to go. Guess all I need to do is try and stay close through 1 and 2. Hello, lap traffic. That's something we didn't ever really deal with. Maybe just once or twice in the trucks. Really have to deal with it when we get to the short tracks. Stay right there. I'd rather kind of stay in front of him, but you know, whatever. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that there's been a bunch of hubbub about, is that Toyota is replacing the Camry in only the Xfinity series, I think, with the new Supra. They're rebodying their car with the new Supra. So it'll be Camaro Mustang Supra. I don't think anyone saw that one coming. And I'm very curious how they plan to make a NASCAR body conform to what the new Supra is going to look like. That should be a real treat. It is funny though, because back when I was playing a bunch of NASCAR 2 as a kid, that was the thing to do, is to take those bodies. Now granted, the bodies were much simpler, the models were much simpler back then, but I would always try to make my car look like a R34 Skyline, because that was like, you know, that was every kid's dream car at that time. There were super bodies and all sorts of things like that where you could make your car look like one of those cars. Oh, this lap traffic is awful. Lap traffic in NASCAR is very different than lap traffic in F1. Ooh, we just caught a big break there, though. Okay. Which way are we gonna go here? We are very pinned. Oh, this is awful. Hill, I need you to move. Here, take a bump draft. Maybe a slam draft. Oh, buddy. Oh, where did the 18 come from? Oh, this is insane. Come on. One of you two needs to figure this out and let everybody through. I think, okay, I've cleared them. Oh, man. Look at them just block them right there. Well, they just won us the race. Oh yeah, he's just parked in front of the field now. Okay, I say the lap traffic is very different in NASCAR than it is in F1, but seriously, that's a bit extreme. I think maybe they need to work on their coding a little bit there, because cars that are this fast should not have that much trouble getting around lap cars. But I guess I did work my way through there pretty smartly. It's a shame, though. Oh no. Oh no. Never count your chickens before they hatch. Because I said we had won this race, but obviously we had not. I'm gonna wait and see what everybody does here, because our right side tires are at 51%. I don't think anybody's gonna pit. Okay, it looks like they're not. Alright. Green, white, checkered, here we come. Oh, we won this race. Yellow flag. These guys are fast on the starts. Get out of here, Sadler. I said get out of here. Block that top side a little bit. Ooh, it did not really stick to the bottom very well, like I wanted it to. Alright, I gotta watch this thing into one and make sure it doesn't take off towards the wall. Let's lift real early. Oh, yeah, I still didn't get it to turn in very well, though. Okay, this is fine. As long as I don't get passed by more than one of them. I'm gonna drive it down into 3. Oh, he's still there. But I think I cleared him. Yeah, we got this. There, well, at least we had to fight for it after all. That's fun. I enjoyed. Let's see if anybody has anything to say. Continue. Yeah. Again, I think we might tweak this a little bit and make them a little bit more difficult, because I don't want to just be able to win every race. That wouldn't be very fun. It was good. I mean, we had some racing there. It was competitive, but maybe just a touch too easy. How many pictures of confetti can we really take in one season? Come on. And we had the fastest lap, yeah. Yeah, we'll probably look at doing that next time. Does anybody have any words of wisdom? I have momentum, that's for sure. I have a major blister on my hand from F1 earlier this week. Fans, oh, a message from Joey Logano.
Good to see you racing in the Xfinity series. Seems like just yesterday you were in your first truck ride. Good luck this season.
Where did that just come from? Oh, goody. It's Harrison Rhodes.
You've been doing really well out there. Your team is on fire. Try to keep that momentum going.
So, we friends now? Is that what's going on? I'll have to make sure I hit you hard our next race. And next race will be at Phoenix. Sounds good. It'll be our first quasi short track race of the season. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.